Hey, what's up guys, it's Left here, and today I am going to be bringing you guys another Vainglory gameplay, and the episode 4, next installment of my Vainglory Issues topic commentary series. So, with today's video, I may or may not need more than one gameplay to fill it, because today's topic is more in-depth, more wordy, and less sort of like opinionated than my other ones. So, also, without further ado, let me just tell you guys that I am playing Weapon Power Skye in this gameplay. And Weapon Power Skye is pretty off meta. You rarely ever see her. A few people that are a few very good players like her, like Gibbs. He has a very nice montage of her that I might link down in the description for you guys. But Gibbs likes Weapon Skye. Not very many other people do. I mean, she's very good against mages. That's her big strength. But that is not the topic of today's video. The topic for today's video, episode 4, is going to be, why do we rank? Why do we play ranked? Why do we play ranked mode? Why is there a ranked mode even? Like, just the human psychology and different aspects of ranked mode in Vainglory. So, the short answer that I have for the question, why do we rank, will be, humans as beings, we just have a inherent need for achievement. Now, this is a psychological concept that was pioneered by Henry Murray, and it is defined as an individual's need to master skills, controls, and achieve high standards. Also, a determination to win. So when you are like learning a new hero, you buy Vox and you want to learn him, then that's you demonstrating the need for achievement that all humans have. Or when you're mastering controls, like you're not landing a Dodgeo's ultimate correctly and you want to. That's the control aspect of it. And the need to meet high standards is probably the most important one because it has to do with like the rank system in Vainglory. So with that said, also there is determination to win, which also plays a part, like determination to win. I mean, you guys can obviously just kind of deduce what that means. It means what it sounds like. Determination to win. You don't want to lose games unless you're doing the cheating, sneak a smurf into the other team thing and boosting Elo with your guild, in which case you should have an IP ban and be blacklisted by Super Evil, but I mean, that's just me. So, next, there's this concept of motivations. There's two different kinds of motivations that have to do with this: intrinsic and extrinsic. So they both are they're similar, but they're both driven by different things. Intrinsic is sort of like you have a constant concern about your own surroundings, and you want to be better and better for yourself. Intrinsic motivation would be, yeah, I'm in tier 3 right now, and I would really like to be in tier 4 because I don't think tier 3 is good enough for me. And that's kind of like what intrinsic means. You constantly worry about where you are on the ranked ladder. That's how you would apply the intrinsic motivation to Vainglory. So, the bigger one, I would say, is the next one, extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation, as you guys might be able to guess, is what motivates you is others' perceptions of you. So, extrinsic motivation is like saying, well, I'm not going to be respected in the community unless I reach Simply Amazing. Or, everyone's going to think I'm a scrub unless I can actually get out of pretty good. Which is, honestly, I see this so often. It's a huge factor in Vainglory. Like, extrinsic motivation is, when I found this, I could instantly relate it to Vainglory without even like thinking too much about it. There's so much of this extrinsic motivation that goes on in Vainglory. It's crazy. Like, I do it myself. I'm pretty sure everyone does it. Like, some people, they join competitive teams and they might not be like a super high elo. That competitive team makes them want to. Like, it's like saying, I can't be in Liberation X, but, I mean, they let me into Liberation X, but I'm not POA. I need to get to POA so they don't kick me out. Things like that. So, that's sort of like what extrinsic motivation is, and that's like a very big topic that I can get back to later. So, next, I'm going to tell you guys about a little thing called the N-Act, or N-AC. which is a score measured by the TAT, thematic apperception test, which is a test formulated and sort of discovered in the 1930s by a Harvard psychologist by the name of David McClellan. So the NAC is a score, or it's sort of like a personality rating that you can get from taking that test. And like, just to give you a sense of how it works, people that are like venture capitalists, entrepreneurs, innovators, inventors, things like that, they have very high scores on that test, like very high compared to the rest of the populace. So it's kind of like a test that measures your will to achieve. And I bet if a lot of Vainglory players took that test, Call the Meek or Iraqi Zorro or Hardak, Lost Boy Toph, Codes, it would have a much higher NAC score than, say, like your just run of the mill tier 4 player. So how that relates to this is that a high NAC score can be characterized by low to moderate risk compensation, innovative and engaging tasks, internal control and responsibility for your actions, and there's two extremes on this last one. It's either the need for goals, like the complete need for goals, or the lack of need for goals. Like, you're either, I need a goal right here and I need the goal now, or you're just like, meh, who cares, I don't need any goals, I can just do it by myself. And sort of the lack of need for goals is it stems from a really high score on the whole internal control skill that I mentioned before the goals. So to kind of like relate these to players and ranked, if you take, like, say, the low to moderate risk compensation, that can be completely and totally related to solo queue. Just solo queue as a whole is a absolute risk. It's a complete risk. So solo queue is a risk, and when you're solo queuing, that is a low risk compensation. If you had a high risk compensation, you would never solo queue. Like, just saying. But so low risk compensation can be characterized by solo queue in Vainglory, because solo queue is just a horrible risk. Unless you get like a pro player on your team, which I've had happen a few times. It's pretty great. But next I can get on to innovation and engaging tasks. Those are things like, say, if you're a newer player, your innovation will be like trying a new hero. But if you are like a veteran player and you have all the heroes, innovation for you is like trying out new builds, new rotations, new strategies like lane swapping, position swapping, different builds on supports than just fountain, and like double crystal, double weapon, all tank with breaking point. You see teams try those out a lot in casual, which is totally the innovation and engaging tasks thing. So with that one covered, I can go on to internal control. Now, internal control can be applied so easily to Vainglory. It's just, you know when you've made a mistake, and you know exactly when you have ruined the game for your team. Like, you know that was your fault, you know exactly what you did and how you need to fix it, or that you can't fix it because the game is going to end because of what you've done. And another part of internal control is having the control period to not be rage pinging your teammates, which I know is very, very hard for a lot of people. Now, this is a aspect that's not just specific to pro players. I know that there are tons of like good-natured like tier 1, 2, and 3 players out there that don't ping their teammates. And then there are also tons of pro players that are just absolute buttholes and toxic and just ping their teammates no matter what. Like, not gonna name any names here, but I see it all the time. And internal control is just, it's such a big part of Vainglory. Like, it's not getting angry when you get snowballed and trying to force a comeback, not getting mad when you get aced. I don't really have very much internal control right now when I rage at how Kestrel is so overpowered, because she is. So, with that said, I can go on to the need for goals. or not at all. Goals or lack of goals. So if you wanted to apply the goals to Vainglory, that's I will be Pinnacle of Awesome by Season 2. Like, it's that sense of mind. I had a friend who wanted to be POA by the end of Season 0, or wanted to stay POA during Season 0, and she did it, and she stayed POA. She stayed POA, ended up getting knocked down to the hotness from the compression unexpectedly, which really sucks, kind of just demolished her goals, but that is what goals look like in Vainglory. And when you look at the lack of goals is saying like, meh, it doesn't matter, I can just, just keep randomly ranking, and eventually I will get there. I'll get to where I want. There's not really any specific place that I want to be. I just want to move up the ladder. Somebody who does that is probably a very good like there's two categories of that. There's you are a very good player and you don't need goals, or there's you're like a casual player and you just don't really care. Yet. You're new to this addiction called Vainglory, and soon you will be playing it 24/7. There is no doubt. So, with that said, I just wanted to kind of like wrap this video up for you guys. I'm hoping that you guys like found this kind of thing interesting with the sort of induction of psychology into my videos. I did some research on this during classes today, and it was pretty fun to research. So ranked play just has like so many different psychological aspects to consider as we climb. And if you guys want, I could do a video about when you're like losing and having a losing streak and falling down the ladder, because I didn't put that in this video today because it was a much more complicated topic, of course, and I don't know, I just didn't feel like making a 30-minute long video. But so as we climb, I mean, it really just becomes clear how we can or how we're using these like little psychological concepts that were discovered in the 1930s. It was pretty cool to be able to relate all this stuff to Vainglory that I was learning about today. And I hope you guys learned something new as well. So also, if you want, you guys can comment down below if you want to see a video about losing and losing streaks. But I mean, if you even comment on the videos, if anybody watches my videos, please help give me views. Yes, I just did that. But if you guys like want me to do the losing streak video, comment down below that you would like that. And also, if you have any ideas, comment down below what you want me to talk about next, because I'm kind of out of ideas that aren't gonna get me like hated by the community. Like, I know the female heroes argument was kind of like some people disliked that video, and I was like, okay, I know there's radical crazy feminists out there, and there's some people that just take that stuff way too seriously and dislike my videos. Like, rip in peace. Come on, don't dislike my videos like that. I'm such a small YouTuber, please. But so also I have some sad news. Sequence Break has kind of been cut out of tasks. For some reason, somehow they got lost in the transition and ended up over with Closet Nerd, who took over Skipper's guild when Skipper like withdrew from the scene. And I don't know, Kid Z, Midnight Destro, Genghis Khan, they're all over there now, and no one really knows why they're not coming back to tasks. But I don't know, we should figure that out tonight, because we have a task meeting on Discord tonight. And that is pretty much going to be it for today's video, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully you learned something useful. Comment down below what you want me to talk about next, if you want me to talk about something next. I mean, if you guys don't like these, I can go back to regular gameplays, I can make montages. I'm not really that great at making montages. I didn't really take very much time on that one that was like the trolling teammates montage, but I mean, as we wrap up the last team fight here, just remember that I am like totally open to suggestions, and I will do whatever you guys want, except for Blackfeather and Adagio, because those are my worst heroes. And so, like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you loved it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
Layout collected.